Do you guys remember the show Dinosaurs on TGI Friday? Yeah! Jim Henson? Not the Mama. That show was great, and it got canceled. And so I happened to see recently just the last 5 minutes of the last episode of that show.
Okay, you mentioned nostalgia. Mm-hmm. That actually, it's kind of a, I don't know, bonus point kind of a thing. It's like a lot of what Dane Cook's fame is based off of nostalgia. Like the first CD Dane Cook came out with was just, and it was almost, some of his stuff was just pure nostalgic. Like, hey, you guys remember Nestle Quick? When you bring up things that make people nostalgic, you're automatically getting that, you're automatically achieving that we weren't expecting to think of that tonight. No one's brought up the show Dinosaurs in God knows how long. And I completely forgot about it for years until tonight when you brought it up. You know what I mean? So that's one reason why I like this joke, because it reminds people of something that they completely forgot.
And what happens, it's so depressing. All the dinosaurs die. And they all go extinct. I know. It's fucked up. And I watched it as a kid, and then I saw it again. I'm like, why wasn't I traumatized by this? It's like, so at the end of the show, it's winter time, and not the mama dinosaur little baby's like, Daddy, are we gonna be okay? And the dad's like, well, I don't know, and like looks into the camera, and it pans out, and then it goes to the outside of their house, and it's just snow, and it's like a blizzard, and then it fades to black, and everybody in the show dies.
So I brought something up that people are nostalgic about, and then I brought up the subject of how the show ended, which is also something that they're not aware of because most people don't remember how that show ended. And that's something I've just discovered about talking about the show. So like that's an example of finding out what the emphasis is. Like once I told that joke, I realized, oh, people don't remember how it ended. That's why I thought it was funny, because I didn't remember how it ended either. So I discovered the emphasis, one of the emphases in that joke is just simply explaining to them how the show ended. And the fact that it's a surprise to them. One, because the first thing they do is I'll say, oh my God, I remember that show. I used to watch it all the time. And then the second thing is I'm telling them something that they don't remember. It's a total surprise. They're like, what? You mean the show ended and everyone died? Like, that's something that I emphasize that's not even a punchline or anything, but everyone laughs at it.
That is horrible. That's like if the series Friends ended with 9/11. It's that bad. Like everybody's dead except for Chandler, and he's like, could this be any more tragic?
So wait, you played on nostalgia again because you brought up Friends.
Yeah, Friends, and the idea of how ridiculous, and then there's the juxtaposition between this crazy thing you just heard about the show Dinosaurs, and then bringing that into like a more recent era of Friends, which ended in 6 years ago, that people remember, and then they take these two things and they bring them together in their head, and they're like, it's a whole lot of I didn't know that, I never thought about that way. Like I mentioned 9/11 for a specific reason, because it's like dinosaurs dying in the Ice Age is exactly like if they had a show today where everyone died, like the season finale was everyone was dead. I mentioned 9/11 because it just fits in that peg, but I'm not making fun of 9/11. But it's a scenario where people are laughing at a 9/11 reference, and also it's a 9/11 Jim Henson reference, which I think is amazing. So that's why I'm really proud of that joke. And I think I do a good Chandler impression. Oh, well, you should have, because it was Jim Henson, so yeah.
Quality. My professor loved Jim Henson, so extra marks.
Yeah, Jim Henson.